Chapter 2, Battle of the Beatmakers, 1. Back in the T-Dot. Having left Toronto in 1997, I returned in late 2002 after spending 5 years living in Nova Scotia. My leave was spurred by the bullshit that was running rampant in Jane and Finch, from hood wars to jail to deportation to early graves and a whole bunch of other vices and traps set up all around me at the time. Around 96, 97, the Bloods and Crips phenomenon made its way to Toronto, and my hood was dead smack in the thick of it. One hood divided by two colors. Unexpectedly, an opportunity presented itself that would lead to me taking a break from the hood and visiting Nova Scotia for a 2-week period. As fate would have it, this 2-week trip turned into a 5-year journey. I had to let off 2 burners to get the funds to take this trip. I landed back in Nova Scotia basically broke and quickly found myself on welfare before landing an entry-level job in the social services industry. After several years of working, I was offered an opportunity to attend St. Mary's University, free of charge, in a community economic development program. It was around this time that I began to host a show on the local campus station, CKDU, 88.1 FM. Different city, but 88.1 FM always had a nice ring to it. One of my childhood dreams manifested with this radio hosting gig. I started off doing the graveyard shift, which were the rites of passage that all new hosts had to go through. Luckily, the graveyard shift was the norm for me. I used to risk my freedom every night on the graveyard shift in Jane and Finch, so this was a cakewalk. After a couple months, I pitched a show to the board called the Youth Entrepreneurship Show, which was a weekly show that would consist of me interviewing entrepreneurs from all over Canada and discuss their various ventures, while also providing a platform for young entrepreneurs to gain free exposure for their businesses. I used Socrates' Father Time instrumental as the background theme music for the show. One of my favorite interviewees was Soul Guy, manager of the rap group The Rascals from Vancouver, as he provided me and the listeners with a lot of information on the inner workings of the music business. After about a year on the airwaves, I ended up winning an award for local talent development from the National Campus and Community Radio Association. Through a friend, Raymond, I later ended up becoming an interim station coordinator at the radio station while they sought a director for the vacant position. While in this temporary role, I happened to stumble on a CD that would stop me in my tracks. Listening to this CD instantly brought me back to the world I temporarily left behind in Jane and Finch. The CD was titled Everything Happens for a Reason, and the artist went by the name of Juggernaut. He represented a section of Jane Street known as Falstaff, a.k.a. Brown Bricks. This was also the place I would catch my first case back in '88. From beginning to end, this MC spoke the language of the Toronto I grew up in. This was a very accurate depiction of what Toronto sounded like to me. Jane Street produced a lot of talented artists, but unfortunately, not many survived to complete a full album.